Well, I'm going to begin just by asking about why Renee Zellweger. I mean, when I first read the casting announcement for this, I think I was like many people that you sort of just went, "Oh, really?" Because I think it's, I guess, when anyone's adopting the persona of someone like Judy Garland, I think you're always going to be a bit sort of apprehensive at first. But she's just exceptional in the role. I was just wondering what it was about her that you saw that made you think this is my Judy Garland.
I had like a millisecond when her name first came up. We were like, Renee Zellweger. Renee Zellweger? Renee Zellweger. Because, yes, she's blonde and blue-eyed and, you know, not obvious as Garland. But then actually, you know, we were looking for an actor who was in their 40s, who could be really funny, who could sing, who was sort of very emotionally present, who was game for the big performance numbers, but also had a detailed inner life. You know, that's not a long list. And, you know, the other thing about her was that I just remembered back to all the controversy with Bridget Jones when it was announced, and like, a skinny American is going to play, you know, our beloved English sweetheart, and how she won that battle and like now is sort of totally accepted and iconic in that role. And I thought, she's obviously got courage about taking things on, and like, we needed an actor who's going to say, I can be Judy Garland. I mean, that's like a pretty, you know, ambitious statement in itself. And she certainly delivered.
You wouldn't think that the same actress could have played Bridget Jones and Judy Garland across the course of her career, but she seems to have done it effortlessly. Yeah. I mean, did you need to hear her singing before you cast her as well? Was that because I was just wondering how important it was for you to have an actress who could do both, or rather than did you ever entertain the idea of them kind of miming the big sort of numbers, or did you always want it to be from them?
Yeah, I mean, I entertained the idea, but we had to see what we had. And the great thing about doing music or anything with singing, musicals, is however famous the actor might be, they need to know as well, because like, they don't want to look like a schmuck. And so Renee came over, and I can't even remember how it was phrased. I mean, it wasn't like she was auditioning, but it was like, we're going to do some singing and let's see what. And she was very self-effacing and quite self-conscious about it. And I paired her up with a musical director friend of mine, and they worked for 2 or 3 days. And then she came into Abbey Road and sang a bit. And you know, what I could tell is, even though her voice wasn't at that point particularly like Garland, that she was musical, she could really sing, she had a great ear. But above all, her body was sort of transformed in the act of singing. And I thought, okay, that's really compelling.
Just a quick word on Jessie Buckley. I mean, we're dealing with a real star here. What would she like to collaborate with on this one? Because it feels like we're slowly watching the birth of one of the next great sort of British actresses.
Oh God, yeah. I think she's a major, major actress. She's so unself-conscious, which is amazing for a young star like that. You know, she just like is, and she'll turn up and just bring it. She's just very emotionally transparent. A great singer as well, actually. And you look at her and think, God, you're going to have a long career, you know, because she's gorgeous and fresh and wonderful, but she's funny, so you can sort of see her being like a Julie Walters or even a Helen Mirren, you know, in later life. I think she's a major actor.
And about this sort of time last year, because I loved the film, it sort of reminded me that this time last year I saw Stan and Ollie, which had a kind of similar narrative in a sense. It was two kind of has-beens of Hollywood who kind of went over for a final tour in the UK, sort of culminating in a kind of London show. And it sort of made me think, what do you think it is about British audiences or London audiences as well that can perhaps be more forgiving, maybe more sentimental towards these kind of stars? Because it does seem like people like Judy Garland in America, that people started to sort of go rejecting her, and then yet they come to England and it's like they've always been that same goddess. I was just wondering, do you think that's a cultural thing, that and why do you think Londoners have historically been, you know, always been attached to these people and always been quite forgiving or very, sentimental maybe?
Yeah, I think Americans celebrate glory, and I could feel that when we opened the film over there. They like, brilliant, one of our great stars is kind of on screen, and I think Brits celebrate vulnerability. Make of that what you will. I think also there's always been that thing of, it's like when David Hasselhoff does Panto over here. It's like, Pamela Anderson's in Panto, that's amazing. You know, we just are amazed that anyone wants to come to England. So there's a kind of thrill in that. I also think, you know, British audiences are funny. You know, they're just much less demonstrative than American audiences. So all these stars come over here, and they can't be getting the same, you know, standing ovations they get in America or in other countries. But I suppose they get, I don't know, like a different kind of kindness, a different kind of warmth, and I think London was really meaningful to Garland.
And you speak, obviously, in the movie obviously has the flashbacks as well. Because obviously it's so much of the emphasis on casting Renée in the role of Judy sort of later on in her life. But what was it like going back and doing the casting process for that part? Because I mean, that's the Judy Garland so many of us know much more. So did you feel almost more pressure in some regards, or did you feel pressure in casting a younger Judy from the Wizard of Oz set?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I remember saying to my wife at the time, like, where are we going to find someone, because everyone knows what Dorothy looks like. No one really knows what Judy Garland in 1969 did look like. I mean, it was quite extraordinary what she really looked like. But Dorothy, everybody's seen that movie. And we're casting in Britain, like, are we going to find anybody? And we're going to have someone 16 or 15 or something. And we looked, and the tapes and tapes and tapes. And, what became really clear was it wasn't so much the look that we were after, but it was the sort of quality of, like, something from an old-fashioned quality. Because kids, like my kids that age, they're social media kids, they're different sort of identity. And Darcy Shaw's tape came in, and it felt like we'd excavated it from some, old newsreel or something. I couldn't believe her quality. And then I met her, and she's this really sweet, kind of bit dappy kind of girl from Liverpool. And then I think I must have auditioned her 3 or 4 times, and each time I couldn't believe what was happening when we said, okay, let's go. And she just became a whole other aura. And she, again, like Renée, she's got these incredibly bright blue eyes that we had to kind of contact lens over. So she wasn't like innately obvious for the part, but I think she's wonderful. I really love her performance. Just
very quick before I go, what's next for you? Are you working on your next project yet?
I've got a few things in development. Just seeing how Judy goes. I mean, I'd like to make another movie. That hungry for that. But I have the theatre at the Almeida that I'm artist director of, and I'll probably be doing a play or 2.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for your time today. Really
thanks, Dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!